Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech, and in this video I'll be talking about the best features of the Vivo V15 Pro. By the way guys, I've already made a dedicated video for the tips and tricks section where I'll be covering many things which I won't be talking in this video. So definitely check out that video, link will be in the description. Now with that said, the first best thing or the most highlighting thing about this phone is definitely its pop-up camera. Now this is how the phone looks like. It doesn't have a front-facing camera on the display, so you get a much more immersive display, and this pop-up camera has been tested 300,000 times and it pops up in less than half a second, 0.46 seconds to be precise. So this pop-up camera is very well tested and it does take some pretty great pictures. Now the next best thing about this phone would be the in-display fingerprint scanner. Vivo has already launched phones with in-display fingerprint scanners, but this one is the latest one with the latest generation of in-display fingerprint scanner. And based on my usage of previous Vivo phones, fingerprint scanner or in-display fingerprint scanner on this phone is pretty fast. Now the next best thing about this phone is definitely its display. This phone sports a 6.39-inch AMOLED display with Full HD Plus resolution with the new 19.5:9 aspect ratio. It has pretty slim bezels all around and 91.64% screen to body ratio, which is better than the latest Samsung phones. It doesn't have a notch or a cutout thanks to the pop-up camera, and overall it gives you a much more immersive experience. Because of the AMOLED display, picture quality is also pretty good, sunlight legibility is great, and as always, blacks are truly blacks. Now the next best thing about this phone is the overall design and build. Now this is definitely not the sleekest or the lightest phone from Vivo, or at least in the Vivo V series phones, because it is kinda bulky and kinda heavy, but overall the design is pretty good, it's very ergonomic, and the camera module on the back is pretty unique. Now the next best thing about this phone is definitely performance. This phone sports a Snapdragon 675 processor with Adreno 612 GPU with 6GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. These are the Antutu and Geekbench scores. Now purely in terms of raw performance or general usage, this phone is really top notch. Well, it can't be compared with the Poco F1 with a Snapdragon 845, but still this phone is pretty good, pretty powerful and pretty snappy. Now going on next, this phone also comes with a bigger battery and fast charging. This phone sports a 3700 mAh battery and comes with dual engine fast charging. Well, that's what Vivo calls, and you can get up to 24% of charge in just 15 minutes, so that's pretty good. It's not as fast as dash charging or walk charging, but it is still pretty good. Now going on next, it also comes with a super fast face unlock feature. You just need to press the power button, camera pops up, sees your face in less than half a second, goes back inside and unlocks the phone. Everything happens so quickly that your phone unlocks in less than a second, or at least it feels that way. In good lighting conditions, it is super fast, you just have to wait for the camera to pop up and your phone is unlocked, and even in low lighting conditions, it is pretty fast, like probably the top 3 in the world. It is that good and it is that fast. Now the next best thing about this phone is the Smart Split feature. Now this is a feature that allows you to use 2 applications at the same time. And yes, this feature is available on all Android phones and it was available even on the previous Vivo phones. But on this phone, or at least starting with this phone, we can use split screen mode for almost all the applications. You just need to swipe down using 3 fingers to open split screen mode, and then you can select the secondary application from the list over here, or else you can go to the home screen and then select the secondary application from here. There are still applications that do not support this feature, but that list is pretty small when you compare it with the previous Vivo phones. Now the next best thing about this phone are definitely its cameras. This phone sports a triple camera setup on the rear with a 48 megapixel primary camera with f1.8 aperture, that's followed by an 8 megapixel secondary camera with f2.2 aperture, and at the end it has a 5 megapixel camera with f2.4 aperture for taking portrait shots. On the front or for selfies, you get a 32 megapixel pop-up camera with f2.0 aperture. These are the sample pictures. Now the cameras on this phone are definitely not the best in the price segment, but they do take some pretty good looking pictures. Now going on next, it even comes with a wide angle camera. Well, I've already covered it in the camera section, but this is a dedicated section because not many phones offer you a dedicated wide angle camera, especially in this price segment. Now this phone has an 8 megapixel wide angle camera with 120-degree field of view and f2.2 aperture. These are some sample pictures. Now the next best thing about this phone would be the portrait mode for the front and rear cameras. Edge detection isn't perfect, but still does a pretty good job. Next, we have a pretty unique feature called short refocus. Now, unlike other phones which simply take a portrait shot, on this phone, you can actually select a focus point and change the amount of blur effect you want before taking a picture. And even after taking a picture, open the picture in the default gallery application. Once again, from here you can change the focus point and the amount of background blur effect you want. Now going on next, we have navigation gestures. Just like the iPhone X, we have navigation gestures on this phone. Once you enable it, you can swipe from the left side for the control center. Those are the notification toggles. Next, we can swipe from the center to go home, swipe and hold for recent tabs, and swipe on the right side to go back. If you don't like this setup, we can always swap the left and right gestures. Next, we have double click to light. Now, just like the name suggests, once you enable this feature, you can double tap the screen when the phone is locked to wake it up. Next, we have some camera gestures. First one is touch to capture. Simply touch the screen to capture the shot. Next, we have voice capture. Once you enable this feature, every time you say cheese, your phone will take a picture.
Cheese. Cheese.
Now the final gesture is palm. Just show your palm to your camera and it will take a picture in 2 seconds. I find this feature really handy while taking selfies. Next, we have live photo mode. Now once you enable this feature, along with the picture, your phone will record few seconds as video and link it with that picture. And you can check out the video in this way. It just adds a little story to every picture you take. Next, we have a feature called App Clone. Now this feature allows you to use 2 versions of the same application. We just need to enable this toggle, and once you go to the home screen, you can find 2 instances of the same application. So let's say if you want to use 2 Facebook accounts, 2 WhatsApp accounts, or 2 Instagram accounts, using this feature we can do it. It's a cool feature, but it only supports few social media applications. Now going on next, we have a feature called Smart Click. It's a quick shortcut to allow you to perform some actions when you press and hold the volume down button when the display is off. From the settings page you can configure the action, but personally I like to use the flash. When the phone is locked, I can simply press and hold the volume down button to toggle the flash. By the way, it doesn't work if you're playing some music. Next we have one-handed mode. This phone has a massive screen and obviously you need 2 hands to use this phone. But for some reason, if you want to use this phone single-handedly, or maybe unlock the password or use the keypad single-handedly, you can do all that from these settings. To completely shrink the screen, you can do this gesture. You can do it again to maximize the screen. Next we have 3-finger screenshot. Now before I show you how to use that, let me show you how to take a normal screenshot. Just press the volume down and power button both at the same time to take a screenshot. It is very simple and works with almost all the Android phones. Now coming back to 3-finger screenshot, simply enable this feature and swipe up using 3 fingers to take a screenshot. I really love this feature and nowadays most of the phones are offering this feature. Now going on next, we have long screenshot. Now for some reason, if you want to take a longer screenshot, maybe a screenshot of a web page or something else, first you need to take a regular screenshot. Now you will get a small preview. Click that and then click long screenshot button to take a longer screenshot. Anyway, going on next, we have a gesture like double tap to sleep. Now once you enable this feature, you can simply double tap on an empty area on your home screen or your lock screen to lock your phone. This is kind of a unique feature and I wish we could do it even on the status bar. Next we have raise to wake gesture. Now just like the name suggests, once you enable this feature, whenever you pick up your phone, screen lights up and shows you the lock screen. Next we have a lot of smart call features, which I would recommend you to check them out yourself. You can put your phone near your ear to lift the call, hold it in the hand to turn on the speaker mode, swipe over the proximity sensor to lift the call, and do some other stuff. Now going on next, we can shake the phone to turn on the flash. Now once you enable this feature, you can shake your phone in the lock screen or the home screen to turn on the flash. Once the flash is turned on, you can press the power button to turn it off. If you enable double tap to sleep, it is kinda hard to use this feature. Personally, I never use this feature. Instead, I use Smart Click feature. Now going on next, we have Smart Reminder. Now once you enable this feature, every time you have a missed call or a notification, whenever you pick up your phone, you will get a gentle reminder. Next we have Super Screenshot. I've already shown you how to take a regular screenshot, long screenshot and the 3-finger screenshot gesture, but this one still offers a lot of things related to screenshot. To use the Super Screenshot feature, just open the notification bar or the control center from the bottom and press the S capture toggle. From here you can take long screenshot, rectangular screenshot, even record the screen and take some funny screenshots. Now going on next, we have flashlight notification. Once you enable this feature or the toggle, every time you get a call or a message, LED light on the back flickers, giving you a visible indication. It will come in handy if your phone is in silent mode in a dark room. Next we have Easy Touch, which is like a floating bubble, just like on the iPhone, with some additional options. You can single tap it for additional options, and you can also choose a custom action for double tap, like going back, going to the home screen, pulling down the notification bar, or taking a screenshot. It is exactly like the floating bubble on the iPhone. Now going on next, we have eye protection mode. According to a research, using smartphones, tablets or anything that emits blue light at night affects your sleep. So once you enable this feature, it puts a warm tint on the screen and filters all the blue light. You can also change the intensity of the tint to make the display look more warmer or a little bit lighter, and we can also automatically turn it on and turn it off at a specific time. Next we have game mode. Once you enable this feature for any particular game, you get additional options like putting the calls in the background, auto reject the calls, block all floating notifications, and disable automatic Wi-Fi connection. Now if you play a lot of games and don't want to be interrupted, this particular feature is a lifesaver. Next we have Face Beauty for video call. Now this is kind of a unique feature that can be found only on the Oppo and Vivo phones. For some reason, if you want to use Face Beauty mode while making a video call, especially for apps like WhatsApp and Skype, this phone allows you to do that. Next we have Super Power Saver mode. Once you enable this feature, all the applications running in the background will be killed and you will be given access to only few applications like Phone Dialer, Messenger and some other apps. These are the only applications that you can use. But once you enable this feature, it will drastically improve your battery life. Let's say you are running really low on battery and don't want your phone to die, just want to answer a few calls, just enable this mode and your phone will last for hours. Now going on next, this phone even comes with an APPLOCK built into the system. For the first time when you open it up, it will ask you to set a password and then select the applications that you want to lock. Now the best thing about this phone is we can unlock the locked applications using password or the fingerprint scanner or even by using Face Unlock feature. So if you use Face Unlock feature, most of the time when you open a locked application, because of super fast Face Unlock feature, you won't even see the lock screen. Next we have Task Timer. This feature is also called as Schedule Power On and Power Off on other phones, and as the name suggests, it will allow you to power off and power on your phone at a specific time. Next we have a feature called Network Management, where we can disable internet access to applications over Wi-Fi and mobile data. Normally many people won't be using this feature, but if you're someone who wants absolute control over your phone, or maybe you don't want applications to access internet, or if you want to block games on your phone, you can use this feature and block internet access to those applications. Next we have wireless display. Using this feature we can cast the screen of your phone to a smart TV or any device with Mirrorcast. As far as I've tested it, it works with Mirrorcast but doesn't work with a Chromecast. Next we have floating video player. Now this is a stock video player that comes pre-installed on this phone, and once you play a video in this application, it gives you the option to play the video in a floating window. And this is how it looks like. In the normal mode, we can swipe on the right side to change the volume, swipe on the left side to change the brightness, and swipe left or right to change the playback position. Next we have bike mode. Now this is a brand new feature that's popping up in all the phones, which gives you additional options like rejecting all the calls when you're in a ride. You can also accept few favorite calls. You can configure it in that way. You also get the feature to auto respond with a message and prevent you from answering calls if your speed is more than 10 km per hour. Next we have background apps. By default, this phone is configured to kill all the applications running in the background after some time. But if you don't want some applications to be killed, say like WhatsApp or Facebook, you can whitelist those applications from here. Next we have Auto Start Management. When you kill applications from the recent apps page, some applications restart automatically and run in the background. Apps like Facebook and WhatsApp might be important, but apps like Amazon, Flipkart or even UC browser need not run in the background. So from this page, you can block such applications from restarting in the background and thereby improve the battery life. Next we have Auto Call Recording. If you're someone like me who wants to record all the calls that they make or get, we can do it on this phone. Just go to the phone dialer settings and we have the option to record all the calls on this phone automatically. So guys, those were all the best features about this phone. If I missed out on anything important, do let me know by commenting below this video, and definitely check out my video on tips and tricks. Link will be in the description. Now if you're planning to buy this phone, please use the link in the description, and if you want us to make any specific video, tweet out to us with the hashtag ASKGREEDYTECH on Twitter and we will try to make it as soon as possible. I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech signing off. Have a nice day.